girls. Time for some food refills, huh? And I have a little treat for you guys. Here you go. Well, guys, I have a bit of a bittersweet day today in the garden because we are going to be heading out of town for a couple of weeks at the end of this week. And so it means it is time to harvest the rest of the garden. We are now well past our usual first frost date. And although it is not forecast to frost still for the next 10 days, in fact, the lowest it's supposed to get is 39, I'm just not confident that that's actually going to last until we get back. And I really don't want to lose any of my frost tender things that are still in the garden right now that are perfectly fine to pick. Mostly peppers, tomatoes I'll pick all the way right up until we leave, but I do want to get all of the peppers out of the garden, my carrots, the green beans, all the tomatillos, that kind of stuff. So we're gonna pull all that out today. First, I'm gonna get the girls' feed stocked up here. So I'll just take you through one quick more walk of the garden. These are the tomatoes that I will still be harvesting on. As you can see, there's still quite a few of them in here, but lots of them have come in with a little color like that and getting ripe on the table. Then I want to get these big sunflower heads cut and drying. Aren't they just massive? They're so amazing. And save seeds from some of these others that just bloomed beautifully this summer. This actually was a second planting that I did, and it's just starting to bloom now. It's so pretty. I love my sunflowers. All right, here are the zucchinis. We do have a couple in here to grab as well. I'll probably let like these little ones grow just a little bit longer and collect them the day before we leave. This broccoli, it is not done anything, and I don't think it will do anything, so we will just leave it be. And over here, I'm still getting chamomile, which is just crazy to me. Over here are the other tomatoes, and again, I will just keep harvesting these as they get ripe right up until we leave. But here's the carrot bed, so we'll pull all of that. Pulled the celery the other day. I do want to get all these corn stalks out of here as well and just store them in the shed so they don't get wet. I'd like to use them for some decoration when we get back. We got some cucumbers. I think I have, sorry about that. Oh, I thought I had one growing. Maybe I picked it. Oh, I think it's in the greenhouse that I have one growing. So no, none on here, but we do have lots of peppers here, and these guys are the big red cherries. I'd love if they did get more red, but they'll still be totally edible. You can eat peppers green or with color on them. But I've got some jalapenos down here. These tomatoes, same, we'll keep harvesting those. But this pepper bed here has most of my Sugar Rush peach, so we're gonna get all of those out. I have some Ancho Grandes. Would have loved if they had all gotten red, but it's all right. Still will take them. Green beans, probably I will come out and pick one last harvest of them right before we leave, but we've got some good ones on here to take out today. Pumpkins, I am gonna leave these right up until the very last. We have the one there that is mostly ripe, and then we've got that guy there, this guy here, and then those two don't have any color on them yet at all. We have this little guy, which is a Cinderella pumpkin, sisters to that one, and this one back here, which are nice size pumpkins. And they actually are pretty close to being ready. So I'm gonna wait until right before we leave, and then I'll just pick them. And they are actually a fruit, so they will continue to ripen, which is great. And then of course, back down there, I have my final potato plants. So I'm not holding out much hope, but I will dig them up and see what our final tally is. And so these are the russets that I left because they just weren't quite ready yet. But that is pretty much everything. I didn't show you the other pepper beds and tomatillos, but you've seen those before. So I'm gonna grab all of those guys out. I think I'm not gonna try and like clean out beds or anything today, except for that corn, the corn stalks. That can all wait until I get back. But I do want to get all of this veg out of here and processed before we... 2 baskets here, one for actual carrots and one for tops. I will leave the tops out here with chickens. I don't think I'll need these trimmers at the moment. My sweet alyssum are just covered with bees, which is beautiful. They are doing their final push for winter storage. Well, I actually did pretty decent. Got some good size guys. I mean, I didn't plant any carrots that were supposed to get huge. I planted Danvers with some number and the Scarlet Nantes. And interestingly, these are the Scarlet Nantes, and they are definitely the biggest. But early in the year, they were the slowest growing, like their green growth. And in fact, even still today, the growth was much shorter than it was for the Danvers. But the Danvers, I mean, they were all pretty small. And as you can see, I've left quite a bit in here. I didn't thin my carrots. I tried to plant them, you know, fairly far apart and not just kind of willy-nilly, but it's just impossible to spread carrot seed thinly. And I really should have come in and thinned, but I didn't. So that's why some of them are so small. So I tried to thin out areas and then leave, because there's a bunch of like actual very small carrots, and they can survive light frosts. And in fact, I think they can even survive a fairly substantial frost. Oh, dang it. I have to eat that guy. So, so yeah, I'm just gonna leave them and see what they look like when we get back, and maybe even longer after that. But look, that's a nice little carrot harvest. I wish my potatoes would look like this. And I hadn't planned to try and like make a year's worth of carrots for us. I don't have a cold cellar, so I can't really store these things long term other than just in the refrigerator. So, I mean, this will probably last us a good 3 months, or basically until they start going bad. So yeah, I don't want to can them. I don't think we'd like canned carrots at all. Maybe I could freeze some, but, or probably actually what I'd do is freeze dry them if I was gonna try and actually store them long term. But for now, they'll just go in our garage fridge and we will eat them fresh for as long as we can. All right, time for peppers. I'm gonna start with my Ancho Grandes here. They actually did really well. Nice big plants. I mean, I would have preferred if they'd all turned red, but I have a few that I've already picked, just waiting in the fridge. And these will get dried and powdered. My Sugar Rush Peach peppers were by far my most prolific peppers, other than the fish peppers. However, I only had like 5 fish plant peppers and I have 10 of these Sugar Rush Peach. So I have a ton of them. You know, some of them definitely have not turned peachy yet, but I have enough of them that have that I'm not concerned about picking them all now. So I'm not gonna leave any of the Sugar Rush Peach on the vines. And pardon the noise, David is building me a new back door to the chicken coop so I can clean it out. This plant in particular just has a ton. They're so beautiful. Pretty impressive. And there's still a couple of small plants in the greenhouse. Not too shabby. Have that big broccoli plant over there keeps giving me sizable little side shoots. Considering it didn't really even give me one big head, it's been kind of nice. want to start getting my dill seed here. Well, you can see that they are getting nice and dried. So I'm going to pull them all off as long as they look like they are started to seed, and the ones that aren't quite done yet we'll let dry, and the ones that are I will pull off and save. Okay guys, it's another day. Actually, it is 2 days later from when I did the big harvest. Number one, I ran out of battery, and then it started pouring down rain, and then it rained for the next 2 days. And this is the first time I've had a chance to get back out here and finish up. So we leave tomorrow. Today is the last day that I can get anything. We did have temperatures down to 37 last night, so pretty confident that we will get a freeze while we are gone. So anything I want to save has to come in today. I think the only things left, I'll take another run at the tomatillos, zucchinis, the pumpkins need to come in. I'll take another run at the tomatoes, even though I don't need any more. And I think that's everything. Like all of the pepper, oh no, the fish peppers. I need to grab all the rest of the fish peppers. Yeah, I think that's it. Isn't that crazy? Oh, I'll grab some more cucumbers. I'm pretty sure there'll be some mature ones now in the greenhouse, so I will grab those as well. I won't take you along on all of it, but I will show you a few bits and pieces, like picking my pumpkins, which I'm very excited about. So let's go do that first. I swear these 2 pumpkins have gotten bigger just since the 2 days ago I was out here. Oh, so exciting. I'm so thrilled that I got any pumpkins at all. So I'm gonna make sure that I cut the stem a couple inches from the top of the pumpkin as much as I can. That is a thick stem. Oh. There we go. Look it. Can you see me? I don't know if you can see me. I think I need to go tilt my camera up. I'll bring it closer. There it is. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, I'm just so tickled pink. All right, I'm gonna grab the others. It does look like that last night's temperatures did start catching these leaves, so it definitely is time. I think even if we weren't leaving, I would be picking these guys today, but isn't that a beauty? Ugh. These guys are Jacoby Littles, and this is the only one that even looks partially ripe. It's been sitting here the longest, but pretty cute. And then we've got another one here that's totally green, and a tiny teeny baby one that's also green. Oh my goodness. But supposedly, I mean, I don't think they'll grow anymore. Well, they can't grow anymore, but supposedly they will get ripe. If you just leave them in a sunny spot, they should get ripe. So I guess we'll see. And I think this guy, yep, he did. see one too. This doesn't look like a Jack Be Little though. Oh, this is a winter luxury. Huh. Oh, that's kind of cool. Although I think he was supposed to be quite large. And he's not. But hey, I'm not gonna complain. I'll try and keep these with their tags. I do just want to show you. So it only got down to 37 last night, which is quite a ways away from freezing still. And yet it definitely caught a lot of my leaves and is killing them. So, I mean, even on my big guy here, you can see these leaves here, this one back here. So they were on their last legs, regardless of us leaving on a trip. Amazingly, it looks like the beans are okay. That's kind of surprising. They usually hate anything cold. The peppers are all looking pretty sad, but I did just remember, because I looked down there, I also have the russets to harvest, such as they might be. All right, I'm gonna probably put you guys down for now and go around and do the rest of the things I want to grab, and then we will wrap up. All right, I think I have everything. Just one last task is to close up the sides of the greenhouse. And then we're done. We're done. Gonna show you guys a couple little last things. I haven't had a chance to get David to come out and fix the nail gun yet, so I'll have to come out later to finish that. But wanted to show you, I'm going to attempt to overwinter this little tiny Tabasco plant that did nothing. Obviously, it was much too small. And then this beautiful habanero plant. So I don't have time to transplant it into soil that is not outdoor soil. So I'm hoping I have it in the greenhouse, and as you can see, covered by a huge swath of frost cloth. And I'm hoping that even if it does get really cold, that it'll survive until I get home and can appropriately pot it up and get it in the house. And then just show you really quick our harvest. So I harvested a bunch of calendula seed heads as well as Cosmo seed heads. And then I just grabbed all of the Juliets that had some color on them, and we'll just bring them with us. And then I could not leave these guys, even though most of them, like this one has a tiny bit of color, don't have any color at all. I just, look at this. Look at this. How could I leave that on the vine and come back to see it all frostbitten and dead? I just couldn't. So I'm gonna bring these with us and hope that they will actually ripen. I don't know, it's hard to say, but these are the federales, and I'm definitely growing these again, but I'll grow them in a greenhouse so that they have plenty of time to get ripe. So those are those, and there's a few more tomatoes under here as well that actually do have color. And then here are most of our pumpkins. Oh, actually, I have a whole thing underneath this, don't I? I'm trying to be very careful with my pumpkins. All right, yeah, I do. Okay, so then in here, these are all of the big red cherry tomatoes that obviously did not turn red. So I picked them anyway. I'm gonna see if they have any spice. And if they don't, then I'll just chop them up as sweet peppers. And if they do, I'll probably add them in with my serranos and jalapenos when I make a sauce with them. And then these are all of the rest of the fish peppers that did not color up, or mostly didn't color up. Again, gonna see if they have flavor or not, and or spice, and if they do, then I'll include them in the fish sauce, fish pepper sauce that I'm planning to make. And then I have a couple more little pumpkins. These guys were the ones I planted actually in July, so I'm pretty impressed. These are Jack Be Littles. And then I have some tomatillos buried in here. Most of them honestly aren't really worth, I don't know why I picked them, but I just couldn't leave them. And then my two little teeny tiny yellow zucchinis. And I have a couple of green zucchinis under there somewhere as well. Oh, and I got a bunch of dill heads. Oh, and I found one cayenne that I had missed. So yeah, that was actually quite a bit more of a harvest than I was expecting today. But like I said, I just couldn't leave these tomatoes on the vine. I just couldn't do it. So, oh wait, shoot, I haven't done the potatoes yet. Oh, okay. As with the rest of my potatoes, I am not hopeful. But it has been several weeks since I harvested those others. So I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky, but kind of doubt it. Yeah, nothing there. Oh, there's one. Yeah, mostly no. Oh, there's one. But like, look, I feel like all of these guys would have become potatoes if this plant had just been okay enough to actually grow. Oh, there they are. All right, well, not terrible. Not the 7 pounds to make up what I would need to go break even, but hey, it's more potatoes. So it's fine. Now I have to get them over there, and I didn't bring a basket. Dang it. Well, I have gotten everything out of the garden I will be able to get before we leave. If by some miracle it does not freeze before we get back, it'll be fun to see what is out here. I've harvested 95% of everything except the tomatoes. So the tomatoes still have a ton of fruit on the vines. We told our pet sitter that she's welcome to take anything that it ripens while she's here, but yeah, we shall see. I am looking forward to moving into a slower season, at least until the holidays roll around. And yeah, I actually should have some exciting news when we get back. And along with that news, we'll be sharing some plans about next year's garden. So I'm very excited about that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this final harvest with me, and I hope you have a great night. See you next time.